Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So this is the second time I tried to record this episode. We had a slight crash, but we were just on our way to go see Dr. Swansea when I saw there was something. Something stuck out when I went into this vision, and it was like, ooh, red sparkles basically, and I want to see if it's down here, because it looked like it was down here, but I can't quite pinpoint where it was, you know. Yeah, like it was in this courtyard. Now, is there a gate to that courtyard? Or there's a door there?
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters.
Was it in this courtyard?
Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
I don't even know where it was now.
It's locked, all right.
Your city needs you! Every life saved by efficient medical aid is a blow, sorry, I can't read today, is a blow struck at the heart of the flu epidemic. Volunteers make the difference. Oh, yeah, good. Good. Can I loot things?
It's
That's
locked.
Tomorrow,
Can I loot this?
more bodies will arrive and then sadly depart. I'm managing a train terminal.
What's going on? I wanted to chat with this guy, now it's loading. The game's being funny today, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why it just started loading.
Good evening.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
Dr.
there we go.
Reed. Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague. Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. Kesh Jadana. Now,
Oh no,
I'm just
my
Mr. Jadana. Pawnbroker
my video
and
is
humble guardian of this
cutting out.
morgue.
What do you mean?
Okay, I think
you
we're good.
used to be a doctor.
I just had to fiddle with
Was
a
your
wire.
license
I just
revoked?
got a
No,
static
sir.
screen.
It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn
that
shop
scared
while
me.
taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Oh, I missed what this guy was saying because my heart leaped into my chest when I suddenly had difficulties. If this telly goes, I do have another telly that doesn't have sound and it has speakers that I could swap to. This is a very old telly. What do you sell?
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Let's see, so this guy sells us our ingredients. So we need ingredients. We come to Dr. Rakesh, is it?
It never ceases to amaze me how you, the dead.
Ah, yeah, Dr. Rakesh Chinadana. If you say your name again, I promise I'll remember how to say it. I'm bad at saying any names. Oh, these will be the bodies he was talking about. Oh, the first 5 minutes of this did actually record, so it might go up if this is this like episode 5? So if you see like an episode 4.99, it'll be that. We've still got a couple of days. Actually, no, I think today is the last upload for this before we're out. Due to the influenza, the hospital can no longer take any patients. Oh wow. Ugh. That's as what's currently like in the UK. Except they don't tell you to go back home. They go, if you wait on that bench for 3 days, we can probably take you in. And
You
yeah.
always knew the words to calm me, Heather. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Do I want to speak to the... I'm a doctor. I should go around
Good
and
evening,
speak to
sir.
the patients.
I'm Dr. Reed. May I help?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see.
No.
Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
What's wrong with your arm, sir?
Is there anything else that's bothering you? Can I help in any way?
I'm all right. Considering the state of this place, I should consider myself lucky, I guess.
Fair. Okay, yeah, so he is just here with a broken arm. Not great, but there's worse things happening to people. Let's ask him about himself. Oh. Let's ask him about himself.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick?
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter.
Oh,
And a good one,
nice.
too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Yeah. Thought about taking on an apprentice? Like, I know you probably don't consider yourself old, but you're certainly old enough to teach. It's not all old men taking apprentices, you know.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
They're remarkably similar. Oh, he doesn't seem to like this hospital, but I'll ask him anyway. Go on, what do you think of the hospital, mate?
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
It's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
Yeah, sorry, if we put you under the smell of blood. I'm trying not... I'm on a diet, you see.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I hope I can help that guy. See, nice hard-working chap. Just broke his arm. You know what? I like talking to the patients, so I'm going to continue doing so. We've spoken to... No, this is a nurse we haven't spoken to.
Dr. Reed, may I help you?
Wait, I thought we spoke to you. Yeah, we spoke to you, didn't we?
For how long have you been working here, Nurse Crane?
I first volunteered at the Pembroke in 1911, a few months after
Oh,
Dr. Swansea
we
was
didn't
appointed.
directly speak to her. We saw
And
her.
before you arrived here?
If you must know, this was my first job.
Well, Dr. Swansea certainly has confidence in your abilities. Are you in charge of the nursing
I think
staff?
she said that like we'd judge her for it being her
Not
first
in
job,
an
but
official capacity,
no.
but the Pembroke
someone's
doesn't
gotta-
always
you know,
work above board, so to
that's a-
speak.
It's not bad.
What about medical protocols?
Gonna click through
Dr.
everything because we
Reed,
might get hints
We
on
don't
people.
have the money and resources here at the Pembroke like they do in the West End. We do
Oh
what we
yeah,
can.
them rich West Enders. Not like us gruff East Enders. There's a soap opera show in the UK called EastEnders, and my family love it. I've seen bits of it. It's amusing. I don't fully understand why anyone watches any soap operas, but like the characters, like it's all character driven. I get that bit, and the characters are certainly interesting. Massive exaggeration though.
How is the duty roster organized?
Everybody works until they can't. If there's time, they'll eat a meal and shed a silent tear.
Oh, so nothing's changed in the past 100 years in the NHS. Back again. General questions? Yeah, I want to know specifically about the
What
patient.
can you tell me about our patients here at Pembroke?
This hospital was founded to help the East End poor and needy. But since the war and the quarantine, we've had all manner of folk.
Can you be more specific?
Well, veterans, the elderly, dock workers. We even have a few mental patients. If there's space, we take them.
I think I've met one of the mental patients. I like her.
What can you tell me about the epidemic, Nurse Crane? I've been out of touch since I've come back to England.
Everyday folk don't know how bad it is. The papers certainly won't tell them. Not as long as the war is raging on, anyway.
News on the front stated that the Spanish flu was under control, at least in Britain.
It seemed to be for a while, but that was only last summer. It returned with a vengeance just over a month ago.
Second wave and all that.
I'll see you later, Nurse Crane.
That happened. So we didn't learn any secrets, but we learned some bits about the hospital. I'm wondering if we need to help some of the doctor staff in order to help some of the patients, because like this guy here, he just needs someone to look at his arm, maybe get him some medicine. So like maybe we get him some painkillers, help out whatever doctor's too busy to look at his arm. If we help out them, maybe they'll have time to go help him. Look, just mate, give him the codeine. He needs it. Who's this? Hello.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Sorry, Dr. Waverly Ackroyd. Waverly? Yeah, Waverly Ackroyd. Hey, I got that right. We have spoken to him before, but we got nothing new. Oh, we never asked him about London.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me.
Mate, I didn't even
since
remember
I have
we'd
not wasted
spoken
my
before.
time courting the press.
It's not wasting your time. Yeah, there's no need for such animosity.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital instead of a burden.
I am intending to be a help to medicine of all kinds. Right, the reason he's angry about our character courting the press is because our character is a pioneer in the field of blood transfusion. This will help more than just one hospital, it'll help everyone.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
I like you. No, I like you. You're a bit, brash, but you've got a point.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
There's all kinds of like ethical concerns and rules, especially with doing like medical experimentation, all kind of stuff like that. Like personally, I think double-blind trials are a bit mean because like they're literally giving patients a placebo, but the patient doesn't know that they're getting a placebo. Like there's some modern medical techniques that are a bit sly. But the to check medicine actually works, and it'll usually be done on the healthier patients and see if they recover anyway, or patients where like nothing known to science currently works, and then they just volunteer for trials with like the chance of getting the medicine. And but yeah, it's well, the medicine's a bit sad. I wanted to be a doctor when I was younger, and I didn't have the heart for it, honestly. I mean,
Good evening,
I did
Mr. Hampton.
have the heart
feel?
for caring,
Dr.
but
Reed, is
I
it?
couldn't take the
Oh,
pain.
Sora, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite.
Yeah, I liked you.
A little
You were good.
delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
I'm curious about this guy. Oh, I got an alarm going off. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. What was it? Yeah, have you been chatting to people since
Have you made
bloody hell?
friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process.
Oh yeah, it rarely helps. It
We're
rarely
not
helps
just
patients.
bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Oh. Well, I assume he's a priest. Look at him. What do you do for a living? He probably tries to cheer people up in whatever way he can. He seems like one of the nice priests.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks.
I told you, see,
And
one
I
of the
try
nice
to guide
priests.
the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith, willing
Crosses
to
and
preach the
religious
good
symbols
word.
only work if the vampire believes in them. So, if it's an atheist vampire, cross no good. Christian vampire, yeah, pull out a cross. But like, it doesn't even need to be personal faith. So, say it's a Christian vampire, but like, they believe all the Abrahamic religions are believing in the same God, and they just got different revelation. Then religious symbols of Abrahamic religions in general would work, but a cross would still be the most effective against them. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent about vampires.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted.
I like
Beyond
vampires.
exhaustion, actually.
Why we're
William
playing a
drank so much of
vampire
my
game.
blood in his madness. I feel
We're
empty.
playing Saints
You're in
Row
good
because I
hands
like
here.
purple.
Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Yeah, we may as well ask about his life in London again as well, because like we can get clues on various people. Yeah, what's it
What
like
is
in
the
the docks?
general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers Trade Union.
Ah, gangs, you say?
Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Did you say Wet Boot Boys? Please tell me he just said that one of the gangs are called the Wet Boot Boys.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Yeah, that makes sense. Who leads the gang now, my good
Who
sir?
leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Minion. Oh, I'm sure we'll meet them. Or, yeah. Oh, why were
How
you
did
actually
you end
there?
up
Yeah.
in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he keep
did
you?
he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
Ah, yeah, the one who thinks she's a vampire.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
That's a... Sorry, I was just just wiggling the camera around, so it's like... Our character's got quite a big nose, but I think that I'm just... Is that just because I'm comparing it to this guy, like, who's not got quite a sizable sniffer? Because it didn't seem that big before. Sorry, hang on. About
Do
Tom
you know
Watts.
Tom Watts? The bartender from the Turtle. I met him before I
Yeah,
found
no, I think
you
it's just
in the
because of this
canning
guy's
factory.
nose
Tom?
being
Yes,
way
of course.
smaller.
Always the helping
Because I'm looking
hand,
at it
good
without
old
paying
Tom.
attention to this guy, and
Without
it looks
men like
fine.
him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
I think we've just got a big head, actually. Like, we've got quite a big face.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise?
Have you seen
The
the city?
authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
I've got some codeine in my pocket, mate, if you want some. £5. That'd be expensive, actually. I just realised we're back in, like, shillings. I'm asking, like, 100 shillings. I'm sure I can get it from, what was his name? Indian fella? Around the back of the hospital, anyway. Was that in this episode, or was that in the 5 minutes before? I think that might have been the 5 minutes before, you know. Don't even remember.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton.
Have a nice one,
We'll
mate.
talk again later.
I'm going to the bathroom to do something like that.
Damn,
Ah, I remember you. You're the
it's here again.
Falsad.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
I'm fine. Just do something for this pain, will you? That's all I'm asking.
I would love to. Why can't I? Oh, ho ho.
How close are you to Miss Hallcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game
Okay,
goes
I'm just
too
saying,
far.
set these
She's
two
quite
up in a
harmless,
relationship.
I can assure you.
He enjoys
Her head's broken
he enjoys
inside,
having a bit of
is all.
sippy done on him, and she enjoys doing
My
a bit
arm
of the
busted
sippy
on the
sippy.
outside.
Get them together. That's just a
She's
healthy
still
BDSM couple.
Living proof that there's hope for me.
Oh, I wonder if we can go speak to her now.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another
Oi,
good
that's
reason
a
for me to
stereotype.
stay here, Doctor.
Vampires respect consent. I don't want to say this, but I want to see what he says to it.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her
How do you know
madness,
it's just not really
she
convinced,
never
RP?
refers to my scars. Frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Join us. I think, yeah, okay, we need more hints
Goodbye
to get
for
any
now,
more out of
Mr.
him. But we have been unlocking like little hints, they've been popping up. So I think we can chat to her now, and I think we've got
Good evening,
a
Miss
hint
Howard.
from him.
How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Tell me about it, but please, I'm on a diet.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are
They
romantically
do, they do
involved?
kinky RP stuff, mate. They definitely
No,
are.
Thomas is a delicate soul, even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
So, he seems to like that.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
Good lass. Gotta wait for more hints.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark.
Yeah, we've learned some
to your
things about our
nocturnal
patients.
activities.
Oh, I like this.
But the suffering continues.
Oh, yeah.
So many deaths.
You could go tap dance in the sun.
On every street
You know,
corner.
Just
The daily routine.
get your hat and cane, go
I
out
wish I
before
could be sick
dawn,
again. Feel my
dance,
blood boil like
sing.
fever.
wait for it to all be over. I am so sorry. Oh, I got more codeine, nice. This hospital is meant to be low on supplies, they're just everywhere. People just lost them at some point. That's what the big nose is for. It's for sniffing out medicine. It makes me the best doctor in the world. You can give a patient a sniff and go, okay, and then sniff out the perfect medicine.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen.
It's a bit weird when you just smell someone who's a bit sad and you go, ah yes, I smell the medicine you need, you don't know what it is, you're fine, it's just like, oh, it's a cat. Alright, yeah, no, that makes sense. Cats are great. Ever a bit sad? Get a cat. Anyone to talk to? Anyone to talk to? Oh, is that someone I don't know? Yeah, that was the patient who was walking around before, and then I select. Oh wait, no, that's a doctor. Who are you?
Good evening, Doctor.
Ooh, glasses.
I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good
a
fortune.
fan. Yes.
Such an honor, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Fantastic. I have some personal questions for you, my friend. No, I don't, apparently. Your life in London? Oh yeah, well, you know what, let's ask him about
Please,
himself
could you tell me
first.
something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
Yeah, I can confirm. Tell me
I
about your
based my
experiments.
technique
I'm
on my mentor's
interested.
research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
True, but you've always got to respect the lives of your patients, my friend.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me.
Oh,
I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
thank you.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
Absolutely. Yeah, now I'm going to ask you about the
What
third
do you
eye. Let's
think
do it.
of Dr. Ackroyd's
Oh, yeah, we do the
aversion
little
to modern
zhoosh.
medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is
That
as
makes sense,
proud
makes
as
sense.
he
He
is
is.
blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
I think it's a mix. I think part of it is like a bit of pride. He won't give up what he knows, but he is also concerned for his patients, based on speaking to him.
What can you tell me about the penbook?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Yeah, he
You
does
seem
quite
quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True, true. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you
Do
need
you
any
need
help?
help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
We're going to explore London at some point. There's still a lot to do in the hospital for now. Do we have any personal questions we can ask him? Ah, excellent. We unlocked some.
Tell me
here.
more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
I'm
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's
curious.
story.
Tell me.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father. Ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, you do have to remain
This
neutral.
personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Makes sense. I think we are
Goodbye,
done
Dr.
with you for
Strickland.
now. We can continue chatting around a little bit. We're not quite done. You're alright, mate.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good
Was
evening,
it
Dr. Reed.
him
Any news about my operation?
who we just got the... Yes, okay, let's ask him about this.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me.
Oh,
And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
no. No, 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 no. Let's
How
ask
could
about
your
this.
job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
That's not your fault.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
And see, this, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly why you need good social security methods. You need things like workers' comp, sick pay, unemployment resources. Honestly, UBI, Universal Basic Income, is needed at this point. Oh, and we got more.
Tell me
from her.
more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps.
Nice.
Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The
Understandable.
Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
Oh,
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
I'm sure you do the best for them.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Oh, poor guy. We're not going to eat him, obviously. That would be abominable. Nearly know everything about him now. Is there anything extra in here? Nah, that was all.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Poor guy. That made me sad. Oh, there's an unknown person to speak to this way. Oh, that's the mother and her kid. I remember them. So who's unknown person this way? How do we get to unknown person this way? Oh, they're in that tent. Okay. And make sure that they're not moved. Didn't we open this box? Mustn't have. Oh, we can't speak to them, but we can see them. Damn it! All right, let's go speak to Dr. Swansea. We've done enough walking around saying hello to everyone. Hopefully, we'll meet them patients later. I think we've done a good bit to help people. I'm assuming her blood quality's unknown because we can't eat her. Like it would make sense if there were people we can't drain the blood of. Oh, hang on. I know I said we're gonna go see the doctor, but first we're gonna raid the cabinets. Important stuff in here. Need it. Oh yeah, see that's used in like fatigue solutions or something.
Please, Jonathan, come in.
Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body. Biology's penultimate frontier.
Is that a real skull?
The more we explore its
Doctors
boundaries,
used
the
to be
less
able to
we're
buy
able to
real
trace a clear
skeletons.
line between life and death.
My friend's dad had one in his basement because
You,
he
my friend, have a
owned
foot
it
in
before it
both
was
countries.
made illegal
The
to
view
buy
must
them,
be
and he
vertiginous.
was allowed
It's
to
at
keep
least as vertiginous as chatting about
it. I
vampires
wonder if
with
he's
you,
still
I
got
would
that.
say.
Don't know if he had to give it up at some point.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
By the way, the person whose skeleton that was, they consented for it to be used for teaching and medical purposes. So that skeleton was literally used to teach student doctors. He was the head GP in a surgery as well. So like, it was kept in a box, but like he knew where it was, and sometimes had to pull it out for teaching like a new GP. Because not all GPs in the UK went to medical school. Some of them learn under a doctor for like a couple of years as like an apprentice, where they're not like a full medically licensed doctor for the hospital like these guys, but like they can do GP work. So he had a real human skeleton that would occasionally be used to teach people. So that's why I got to see it, because he knew I had an interest in medicine. I actually did some sitting in with them a few times, just to see what GPs did and stuff like that. I probably could have gone down that path, but mental breakdowns happened in it. Your
It may
words
seem
bring comfort.
strange, but your words have brought me some comfort here.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
So much more than a brilliant physician. We need each other.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Oh.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind.
Oh no.
Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling.
Yeah.
And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
Oh, she's being
And
blackmailed.
you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Oh, we got a nice bit of experience for that. We could probably go spend some of this experience. I need to loot in your office while I'm here. I don't know if we're gonna get to come in here whenever we want. I see no loot. Oh well. Through we go. And then I'm guessing that's... Oh no, that's now unlocked. Is this unlocked yet? No. Alright, yeah, I think we should call this episode here, ladies and gentlemen. We can pick up next time, finding out what is that Lady Ashbury? Hang on, sorry. Loot. I just spotted it in the background. Ah, right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a pleasure having you with me. As always, peace and love. Bye!